I built Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon in LEGO. Toothless is an iconic character from the world of DreamWorks dragons, and I wanted to create a minifigure scale version of the dragon with LEGO bricks. So let's take a look at how I built this LEGO How to Train Your Dragon mock. I designed Toothless in Bricklink's Studio digital design program, and I used the program to create instructions for the build so I could order the parts and build Toothless with real bricks. Here are all the pieces laid out. There are a total of 238 LEGO elements to make up this mock, including an interchangeable tail and saddle parts. If you're a fan of LEGO or How to Train Your Dragon, make sure you subscribe because I'm building the Island of Berk and many more of the iconic dragons from the franchise. But now, let's build Toothless. Here's Toothless, the silly and lovable dragon from my favorite trilogy of all time. Toothless has several points of posability, including his head, wings, legs, and tail. For the dragon's head, I knew I needed to have bright green eyes and the dorsal flaps that make Toothless such a well-known design. Since I wanted Toothless to be more to scale with a LEGO minifigure, I decided to go with a more minimalist approach to his head. To create the round shape of his head, I used a combination of smooth slopes and tiles. I used snot, or studs not on top bricks, to add clips to the back of the head so I could attach 4 dorsal flaps, creating that iconic silhouette. Then I added 2 transparent bright green tiles for his eyes. Originally, I had designed this model with a clip for the neck joint, but recently I changed it out to the newer ball joint elements to give Toothless a little more personality. With his head done, it was time to tackle the wings. Instead of using the dragon wing elements that LEGO makes for their larger dragons and sets, I decided to go with a brick-built design for the wings on Toothless. The wings have 3 hinge points, which allow for Toothless to have multiple poses while flying, depending on the circumstances of the flight. He's also able to fold his wings back for walking around Berk with Hiccup. The brick-built design of the wings opens up more poses for Toothless than I could do with a single solid piece for each wing, which I felt would help the dragon be more expressive since the design of the head is more minimalist. I used wedge plates and smooth slopes to create the shape of the wing, making sure that the separate pieces all fit together and were able to fold in on themselves. With the hardest part of the design out of the way, I added a few legs using clip pieces. The legs have a small range of posability, so Toothless can fly, walk, or sit in a few different ways. The tail was the last piece of posability for Toothless. I could have used ball joints, but I decided I wanted the tail to be entirely black, and since ball joint elements really only come in shades of gray, I used clips to connect each link in the tail. This way, the tail can be moved around to give Toothless that action shot. If you want me to try a redesign with the ball joints, let me know in the comments. The tail is connected to Toothless's body with the use of studs instead of plates, and this allows for a small amount of back and forth movement for an extra boost to posing options. At the end of the tail, I made sure to add the iconic red leather tail fin, which I did with some red slopes to mirror the regular side of the tail, and these are both connected to the rest of the mock with clips. When I was designing Toothless originally, the Hidden World was about to come out, so I knew I wanted Toothless to have a regular Night Fury look in all black. I added a third tail piece that can be swapped out for the red tail fin, which can make Toothless look like a Night Fury before he met Hiccup. On his torso, I gave Toothless 2 options as well. One option is to have a saddle, and I used a half plate, half tile here so a Hiccup minifigure with a prosthetic leg could sit on the saddle. The other option is a black slope that can be swapped out for the saddle, giving Toothless a normal rounded back. I designed this feature similar to how LEGO horses are designed, with a saddle replacing a brick when a minifigure needs to ride them. The saddle or back pieces are connected using a jumper plate built into Toothless's torso. With all of those elements coming together, LEGO Toothless is complete. The last thing he needed was his best friend, so I whipped up a Hiccup minifigure design that I will probably modify later, but he works for now. I wanted Hiccup to have his cool fire sword too, so I used the dragon hilt piece from LEGO Ninjago in black and I added a fiery blade to it. And there they are, Toothless and Hiccup in LEGO. Since I'm building a large LEGO mock of the Island of Berk, I wanted to be able to get footage of Toothless flying as if you were flying on him yourself. A test drive point of view. To do this, I built a camera rig out of LEGO bricks. For this tool, Toothless can be mounted to the front using these bricks, which are securely locked into the rest of the LEGO rig. Once Toothless is secured, I can then put my phone into the brick-built case and secure it with a couple of plates. There are actually 2 different positions for the phone case to account for 2 of the iPhone 15's camera modes, and you can switch between positions with these Technic bars. With Toothless and the phone camera locked in, I can now get footage of Toothless flying around the Island of Berk, or around the yard if I want to. And that's how I built Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon in LEGO. If you like this design, there are instructions available on my Rebrickable page linked below. Do you think How to Train Your Dragon is the greatest trilogy of all time? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, leaving a like helps me out a bunch, and make sure you subscribe because I'm currently building the Island of Berk in LEGO and we are nearing the finish line. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's always a beautiful day in the Brickstorm.